Hello, friends. My name is Melody Self, coming live today and talking to you about when the feeling fades. It's really easy in the heat of a moment, or when our emotions are really high, and we say we want to we make a decision to do something, as in maybe we want to have exercise. We decide we're going to exercise daily, or we're going to go walking, or we're going to eat better, or we're going to stop saying derogatory comments about ourselves, or what is it that you have decided, right? And then in that moment, when the hard comes along, when the circumstances comes in the way, when we don't want to do something more than we want to do, the hard thing that we decide that we were going to do, when it becomes a cost to us that we don't want to pay, but we want the result. So what we in the heat of the I mean in the day to day, in the grind of the day, or it doesn't feel good to keep our word to ourselves, right? So we say that we're going to go walking every day, but then the football game comes on. Then um, something looks better than it did. We don't feel like it. It's too cold. It's rainy. Something else more exciting comes in the way, and so we don't keep our commitment, we don't keep our word, we don't keep honoring ourselves and honoring the word that we had made to ourselves. And so then we don't trust ourselves, and we can't believe what we say because we haven't kept our own word. And so what do you do when the feeling, when the passion of the choice leaves, when it's not exciting? What are you going to do in that moment? And of course, that's when you get to decide, I made a commitment, or I made a decision, and I'm going to make it right. I made the decision, and I'm going to follow through with my actions. I'm going to follow through, and I'm going to do what's right. I'm going to keep my word to myself. And we just decide that we're going to do that thing that is hard, and we're going to pay our price so that we can have the result that we want. And that's when we remind ourselves, what is the result that we want? Like for me, the result I want is to be active with my kids. Then I remind myself, remember, Melody, you want to be active with your kids. You don't want to get sedentary. You don't want to not be able to move. You don't want to have pain when you move. So keep your body moving now. And so you remind yourself of the reason that you want to do it, and why the cost isn't so bad, and why it's worth it. And make the decision and make it right so that you can trust yourself and you can honor your own word to yourself. And that's going to really elevate the way that you feel about yourself and the way that you treat yourself and the love that you give yourself. And it's really important to value yourself enough to honor the word that you have for yourself. And I'm not talking about when, there's something happens and you really have to readjust, but I'm talking about when we come up and we make excuses repeatedly because we don't want to honor, and we don't want to go through the discipline. We just don't want to discipline ourselves. And one of the things I would always tell my kids is, if you don't discipline yourself, then I have to discipline you, and you're not going to like that. And that happens to us. I mean, sometimes we know, hey, I know I should just take a break. I know I shouldn't keep going at it like this strong and hard. I know. But we don't honor ourselves, and we don't listen. And we hear that. We hear our intuition, we hear the spirit leading, we hear our body talking to us, and we refuse to listen to those messages that are coming forth. And then what happens? An illness, some terrible thing happens where now we have to be stuck in the bed. We have to rest. We're required to rest because we didn't listen when our body was telling us. We didn't listen to ourselves, when we violated our own best interest, and something happens that makes us have to rest, that makes us have to take notice, that makes us stop in our tracks, and we can't keep going on. And so I would encourage you to honor yourself, honor your commitment to yourself, because it's a loving thing to do. It's a way to honor yourself. It's a way to love yourself. It's a way to even um, just help yourself to trust you more so that you can trust yourself and not doubt yourself. And that's just a loving commitment, a loving thing that you can do for yourself is to stay committed and stay true to yourself by honoring your word, make a decision, and then keeping the decision right by doing it and not giving up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself. You're so valuable. You're so worth it. And I want you to live your best healthy selves. So watch me and let me know if this resonates with you. If you have issues with keeping your word to yourself, get in my inbox and let's have a chat, so that you don't have to keep living that way. Because some of the times, the best thing you can ever do is to have another person, someone that helps you to stay accountable, helps you to remind you of why you're doing what you're doing, and why you want to do what you're doing. And you will have a lot more success so that this year is completely different from last year. So I love y'all guys, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye for now.